Okay.
And just pound them. These are nice. Why would you just
Podcast and juice.
destroy these?
What's up? Oh, I've been nursing that one for a bit, you know? It's about time to move on to the big brother, the sinful apple. Angry Orchard seasonal flavor, sinful apple.
I was going to say, is that seasonal? Because it's got cinnamon, then it's probably
Cinnamon.
holiday themed.
Yeah, this is for when you get turned with your cousins. Your little 14-year-old cousins.
Oh, no.
Easy for the easy for your 8-year-old little kid cousin to drink.
Yeah,
Got cinnamon. They love it.
Them. Yeah.
You put it in the applesauce, and they go to sleep. It's nice.
Beer. Put a little, like an ounce of beer in the applesauce, and they just pass out.
Well, because you have to up the game.
It's not whiskey.
You got to up the game. It's like with a baby pacifier. You dip it in whiskey to placate them.
Well, yeah.
But then you just keep stepping it up. By the time they're 14, you're putting Everclear in their oatmeal.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Just so they shut the fuck up for a bit.
And they think everything tastes like shit, and then they go out to eat once. And they're like, what?
Well,
What the fuck?
That's where you got to sneak. You slip the 10 under the table to the waiter. So
Follow him around, just keeping your kid wasted the whole life.
It's way better this way.
Oh, when you die, they just start withdrawing. Sad.
What's wrong with me? My stomach's in. I got cramps. I'm sweating, and it's not because my dad's dead.
No. I can't deal with this light. It's like, so we're in a dark room, and we have two like dim ceiling roof lights, but then we've got like a little Pixar guy on the corner of the table just shining directly in my face.
That's her key. That's her key light. And then this is your fill. Oh, and also backlight.
Where's the best boy?
The best boy? Dude, I'm always the best boy.
Ah.
Number one. Welcome to the Twilight fan cast. Twilight and Transformers fan cast.
Oh,
we got the hot opinions on the final two. You've been waiting for 5 years for our opinions on Twilight Breaking Dawn parts 1 and 2.
I can't give them out yet. I haven't watched the first 3 movies.
You don't need to. What?
I don't know if that's...
Look, we'll get to that later. Right in the here and the now. We just need to give quick opinions on Breaking Dawn. By the way, Breaking Dawn part 1, it's not that bad.
What? Come on.
Hold on. The part where they're...
It's a 0. It's a 0.
It's a 2. There's a, so the part where they're on the beach and they're just kicking it, having a good time on vacation. I'm like, wow.
Was that in part 1?
That's part 1.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because it's when they get married. Because the entire first movie is them getting married, and the entire second movie is her being pregnant and having a kid.
All right. No, she's pregnant at the end of... She has the baby at the end of the first one.
Yeah. And then the second movie is her having the kid. They got the kid now. And then it's about the shift.
Okay.
It's about the shift in. I can understand how that'd be misleading, but the poor choice of words, perhaps. But then the second one's vampire politics, but not really. It's like the loosest politics of like you can't. Your love is forbidden still.
They spend the whole movie in this woods house, and I was like getting hot and dizzy just from being in this one place. I did not.
Claustrophobic.
Or just like a boredom that is so intense that I just start to kind of enter some kind of
trance state,
just euphoric bliss.
And then when the heads start getting ripped off,
it was very unpleasant.
The heads start getting ripped off, and that's when you're
and then that was a funny 5 minutes.
It's great.
We were at Matt's house, and he has a cool place with the TV, but it's got TV on the TV instead of like regular things.
Cool things.
Yeah, like television.
You have to search. You can't. Things don't come to you the way that things come to you when you're on the internet. You're catered to on the internet, but on television you have to dig. And we dug and we found the best things on television for us to watch were Twilight and Transformers. So take that as you will. Fuck television forever, basically. Also a bit of Roadhouse.
A little bit of Roadhouse. Roadhouse is kind of boring, actually. It's funny, but it's just kind of romance bar fight.
My life.
Repeat forever.
I get enough of that in the day to day.
Sam Elliott's
there.
Every time Twilight would go to a commercial break on a really dramatic moment, they would play a commercial for the Jersey Shore sequel. So we would go from like really, really intense vampire drama to a dude on the screen shaking his hands around going, "Turn up!"
Let's get lit. so like somebody gets their head ripped off and lit on fire and immediately cuts to that.
Turn up! Yeah. That,
So I think it was,
like,
hold on, I think it was turn up.
yeah, it was probably, that's probably it. So, yeah, the chaotic state of television really is what provides the entertainment.
Yeah.
The actual content is just
Make
sort
your
of
own fun.
The base.
You have to make your own fun when you're watching television.
It's like playing shadow puppets without electricity. It's without internet. You gotta fucking watch.
You got to get your riff game
movies.
on too. If your riff game's not strong, you're not going to last a second watching television.
And those movies fucking suck. By the way, I know it's a meme, but those movies are unbelievably bad.
The baby.
The
baby.
The baby.
Baby.
Any way I describe it, it's going to sound like I'm exaggerating. You cannot exaggerate how I would 100 times prefer just the doll baby from American Sniper. Like, I don't care if that's fake. You don't have, like, at least...
It's a movie.
Don't hide it. Yeah, no, it's a movie. It's a play, whatever. Just don't have a real baby. Fine. It's shaped like a baby, yeah. When you're doing close-ups of his face and it's like a JPEG sort of blurred onto a crash test dummy.
It's an uncanny valley nightmare.
It doesn't even reach the uncanny valley because it looks nothing like human. It's like you took a bunch of magazine clippings of facial features and plastered them onto a tiny vamp.
It's like a PlayStation 2 character, kind of like Oblivion looking thing. Yeah, that shit's rough. And then then the baby grows up and is a kid, and then then it's truly uncanny valley of, is this a real person? Because there was a real actress that is in the role.
Yeah, they had to make her CG until she was full grown.
Yeah,
and it was hard to tell when it actually ended.
Did you see the thing about the about Superman's upper lip? The new.
Oh yeah, no, that was everyone's talking about Superman's fucking weird ass mouth. I've seen screenshots where his I don't know what this thing above your upper lip is called. This cleft is like clipping through his nose, and it's all fucked up. It's all wrong. Oh man, it's great.
You figured they would be able to fix that with the fucking shit zillion dollars they put into it.
I mean,
but then again, there's a GoPro shadow in Transformers, so everything's.
Hey, I didn't notice.
Steven Sean Eagle.
The GoPro shadow. Yeah, that was Transformers 4. The Age of Extinction. Yes, and that also sucked.
There's I thought the China baiting might have been overblown, and then we saw it, and then the entire second half of the movie's in China.
I like how you have seen all these movies, but then you're watching it like for the first time, because really you were just so plastered the first time.
It took me 5 attempts to watch it the first time. I would stop because it took me.
Why even spend your time? Like, what what were you up to in your life?
It's a masochist thing.
Yeah, I guess I feel it.
It's in terms of.
What am I saying? I've seen fucking 400 animes.
If it's something that brings me erotic pleasure, it's like Transformers 4 is right above getting my balls stomped. So,
right.
But it took me like 3 attempts to get out of Texas the first time I watched it, because that's the corn. The cheese is just off the charts, and it's so Americana and saturated, and he's a good old boy.
Except he has like the weird Boston accent.
My daughter, what? This isn't junk. This ain't junk.
My inventions are going to make us a lot of money. I'm an inventor.
TJ Miller gets fucking destroyed.
Oh my god. Top 10 cinema deaths of all time.
Top 10 cinema betrayals.
TJ Miller sucks. He's also bad in this movie. And he has the weirdest, most fetishistic death I've ever seen in a film. Like a death like that a villain, like a trilogy villain, like a villain for 3 films deserves. Where it's like, he gets exploded, but he doesn't blow apart. He turns into an ashy skeleton thing, standing straight up. And they just like have 8 shots hovering around him, panning over his fucking desiccated body.
Treatment. He gets the Luke Skywalker treatment where they're panning around him, and it's like a little bit shaky. And he must have been horrible to work with, I guess. If that's what that was. That's not an endorsement. It's by any stretch. Yeah, he's good in Cloverfield. I'll give him that. He's really good behind the camera. In
Oh my God, he is in Cloverfield, isn't he?
He's HUD.
Oh my shit! I totally forgot.
I like Cloverfield more than people do, so
do I.
So it's a good movie.
I like Cloverfield a lot.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
Yuppies.
No, it really is.
It's amazing because like I don't know why it's so compelling to watch these yuppies going around New York City, and it's just really well done. Anyways,
Yeah, I like
so Twilight and Transformers.
Back to Twilight.
Yes.
I just need to get all this out since
Go ahead.
I'm never
Yeah.
going to watch any of these again. Okay. The brown boy wants to fuck a baby, and that's normal for girls to read, I guess. That's just fine.
He imprinted Declan.
Fuck you. Tell it to the judge, Taylor. Taylor wait, no.
That's Taylor Lautner. That is
Okay,
the one.
Lautner. Not.
Taylor Kitsch is
Oh,
wait,
right.
no.
That's your friend.
That's my friend Taylor Kitsch. You're a thief, Taylor. You're a
He
thief.
returned it. He forgot. Honest mistake.
I see Taylor Kitsch once a month now.
Nice.
That's it. It's the long and the short of it.
Ask him out.
Yeah, he's a cutie patootie. He's a little bit dopey. I think he might be stoned all the time.
He's in Austin.
He looks like he's going to be really good in that Waco movie, though. There are women and children in here. And
That's a TV movie.
6-part miniseries, please.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
God damn you! That's where the television is where all the good characters went, man.
That could
David
be true.
Fincher told me so.
What happens in Twilight? Yeah,
People
they have
get their heads ripped
It's
off.
a very silly montage, and then that turns out not to be fake or not to be real. And he destroys a bedroom, fucking, and she's really, really dead at the end of that first movie. And by first, I mean fourth.
She looks
or
like
whatever.
I don't use the term Holocaust victim lately, even though I do. But she is emaciated.
Oh
like
yeah, she's all the
full-blown.
way down there.
She looks like she would be the third or fourth skinniest person at Fashion Week. It's like pretty bad, pretty
rough.
bad. Rail thin.
And don't buy the new seasonal Mountain Dew. It's just like half Code Red.
Fuck! I wish I had read the label before. It's half Code Red and half Mountain Dew. That's not a seasonal brew. That's that's just Mountain Dew. All Mountain Dew tastes like Code Red.
That's not a special formula.
Fuck.
I didn't even finish that.
I drank like half of it, which I had mixed with vodka, and then I'm looking at the second half of the bottle, and like I bought it and I chugged it. You know, like
You gotta
come on.
get those resources.
Of course.
Need
Need that little extra pep to get through the second Twilight movie. Damn, what a trashy night we had.
It was fucking dumb. It was
It was
good.
a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the honeymoon's over, baby. Twilight. The honeymoon's over. There's and then she has the baby, and she bleeds. Is that because she got all blood sucked out of her? What's the deal there?
What happened?
And where she's super emaciated at the end of the first film.
She died.
Okay, and then he bites her and brings her back to life as a vamp.
Yeah.
And then the entire opening sequence of the second film is like roses getting frozen and shit because like wow, she's a vampire now.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It's symbolic.
And then the entire second movie's fucking awful. Like
It's just a bunch of people
really
talking
horrible.
in the woods.
Oh,
And then there's a young Nick Cage holds a guy up and kills him.
I think
or
the
something.
best, which is again, that's supposed to be our friend, by the way. They didn't. He's a good guy, and yet he murders somebody in the street for.
He's gotta eat, baby. He's a vamp.
But I think the secret best part of that entire movie is the sequence where Taylor Lautner imprints on this baby, and then the misunderstanding that ensues from there of like she's a baby, and he's like, whoa, I can't control it, man.
The weirdest part for me was when he nicknames the baby Nessie, and then she finds out and she goes, she's just found out this dude's gonna fuck her baby, but then she merely takes a hard left turn to, you nicknamed her after the Loch Ness Monster?
She's going for the gusto on that part.
Why is that even a point of, why does that matter at all?
She's going for the Oscar in that sequence. It's really, really wonderful.
Why do you say the whole Loch Ness Monster? Ah!
Yeah.
Why? What was the really funny part where they kept zooming in?
Oh.
Was that when she was dying?
Yeah.
God, that was
They did a little tiny zoom in her fucking dead face.
No, they just kept cut. It was just like just different angles of her
Yeah.
fucking dead ass face.
Yeah,
It was
there was
fucking
one
god
particular
awful.
zoom in that got everybody immediately.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, and then it's really boring for a pretty long time.
She talks to her dad, and she talks to
What
some more
happens with the
vamps.
dad?
Who cares?
And then
Turn up.
turn up.
Turn up.
Floribama Shore gives me life.
Don't plug Floribama Shore.
Pour one out.
I don't even know if it's aired yet.
I mean, it can never capture the genius of the original Jersey Shore.
They never do.
They're
same
doomed
with,
for success.
Same with Love Live
Doomed for fail.
Sunshine. You know, it just doesn't quite get
It's
there.
the exact same thing.
Not as memorable.
Turn up.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happens? Then there's a vampire fight over whether or not this baby can live, but the vampire fight ends up being a vision sequence caused by the sexy pixie lady.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with nobody dying, except for one girl who gets her head
Yeah,
ripped
it's the
off
one-
in pretty
yeah.
hilarious fashion.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the one who died, and then it cut to turn up. I'm pretty sure was
Nice.
this girl. The first time it happens in the film, it cuts to turn up. So it's like she's like, "I'm sorry, Bella," and then the fucking lead evil vampire rips her head off, and then they torch her, and then turn up.
Oh yeah, it was good stuff. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know.
Bad movies. You know what's not bad?
Really, really just bad. It's also like fucking 10 years old, but the opposite of bad.
As relevant as ever.
Yes.
It's never too long. It's officially too late to jump on the Twilight hating bandwagon. It's not too late to jump on the Index loving bandwagon.
It could be, but we wouldn't know. We're insulated.
We're a little bit outside the loop.
Or we just started.
I just
started it yet.
I've become cognizant of S4S memes. So do you know
Sure.
Do you know Spike Man?
No.
Do you know Yosho?
No. Wow, that place is really just a black box, isn't it?
It's fucking crazy. There's a
Just
huge
a weird little like a tide pool.
There's a yeah. All sorts of life is being birthed there.
Yeah.
But the
Fucking petri dish.
there's an ongoing war between Yosho and Spike Man. so hold on, I'm
sounds fun.
Yosho is like the baby Yoshi from Super Mario World. You know when he's like a little nugget baby?
Sure.
That's Yosho. I'm gonna find this.
There's a lot of Spike Men. Is he the Mega Man boss?
This is okay. So this is Spike Man. He's the green little monster guy. Is Spike Man.
It just looks like a Pokemon.
And then LOL is LOLE, by the way. And then you've got Yosho in there. They're the yin and the yang of Yosho and Spike Man.
Nice.
And I fucking it's
There's an S4S wiki. Spike Man. What is this? This is just from a Game Boy game or a SNES.
I don't know. It's gotta be like Final Fantasy or something, or like DQ. Dragon Boy
Chrono Trigger.
all that bullshit.
Lavos Spawn.
Spike Man.
Spike Man.
He's the Spike Man and Yosho.
It appears in Death Peak in 2300 AD. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a Chrono Trigger boss or something.
But yeah, that's a part of their culture. I follow 4chan meme pages on Facebook. And,
Oh God!
And there's one that
sounds like the worst thing ever.
This one's called a 4chan meme page that actually posts things from 4chan, and it's always like S4S memes. So I'm only tangentially aware of Yosho and Spike Man, but I'm happy whenever I see them.
Brighten your day.
Yep, that's it. That's Spike Man, baby.
Yep.
Anyways,
What brought this up?
I just thought about it.
Just think about Spike Man.
Think about 4chan. Well, because we're insulated. We don't really know what's the zeitgeist is like on current anime. I guess you do.
I don't know if there is one, just because no one's competent enough to create one. There's no ruling class. It's just a fucking
nothing but plebeians. Oh,
It's a wasteland. So that's why we're slowly building an empire, very slowly.
Disdain for
but it's
plebes.
happening.
So
that's why we got to fester a love for index.
Yeah.
Index.
Uh-huh.
A certain magical index.
Love in a dangerous index. So we got Index. We watched the first 12 episodes of it. Which isn't really.
I should have had you watch the first 14.
That doesn't really end the arc. So
after I texted you that, I figured out the arc actually ends at episode 14. Oh well.
We'll be okay.
Yeah, it's we're gonna get to all of it, baby. So it doesn't matter.
Let's talk about Index, baby.
Musical cue. I don't have any music. Sorry.
So
the third season of A Certain Magical Index got announced, I think, unless the Twitter translators are lying to me or the internet's lying to me, which has happened before. Remember when you texted me at like 9 a.m. once? Because you thought, I'm going to bring it up every time. I'm going to bring it up every month. It's got to come up at least once a month because you found a thread with like 3 posts that said Haruhi season 3.
I thought it was on the hottest, newest hotness. I thought it was there. I thought it was there at ground zero with the new Haruhi. Not that it matters, because what the fuck do you even go from there? I guess you just adapt more with the light novel. But anyways, so yeah, Index.
Third season of Index after Season 1, 2008, Season 2, 2010, and 2 seasons of Railgun. They're finally doing... I don't know how much of Index they're adapting, but there's going to be at least a third season, which is going to be, I assume, 2 core. People are very excited. I'm excited.
Oh, this is going to be a really noisy episode. Okay, go on.
Yeah, because Metal Table, not great for this.
No.
I remember liking Index not a whole lot, but I remember liking it. So I wanted to refresh. I wanted you to experience it. I wanted to introduce you, and I wanted to just soak myself in it and become reacquainted with all my best buddies in Academy City, and that's why we're doing this now. So we're gonna do 12 at a time, roughly, until all 2 seasons are done. So there's gonna be a 4-parter, and then also we're gonna do season 3.
Are we gonna do Railgun?
You can watch it if you want to.
Is Railgun like happening in the same time? Is it?
I forget what happens in the I forget what happens in the first season of Railgun. The second season of Railgun is the first half, or I don't know, a chunk of it. I think it's like the first 8 episodes are just an arc from Index, but from Misaka's perspective.
Gotcha.
And the rest of it was original, which was pretty bad. The first season of Railgun is probably a bit better. But
all I know Railgun from is that it has a really awesome OP. I love Only My Railgun. It's a hot track.
What's the our Spark? What's the?
Are you talking about the Allspark from Transformers?
Yeah, no, I got Transformers on the mind. What's the band?
I'm also holding my microphone now because it's going to reduce the amount of noise we're hearing, and it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So,
Fripside.
Oh yes.
Fripside. That's their one memorable song. So the reason people are excited about season 3 is because allegedly, it's the first time that the really good stuff from a light novel or manga or whatever, like the really like series hit its stride. They're going to get to the juicy stuff, including. I'm just going to spoil it because I don't care. It's the World War III arc is going to be happening. The World War III is between some alliances, one of which is the Roman Catholic Church plus the Russian Orthodox Church plus Russia plus France plus Italy and the UK.
Okay.
No, just Italy.
Yeah, the UK didn't fit in there.
Versus the UK, China, India, the Anglican Church, and Academy City.
What?
And someone fights the Pope or something, which is the most buck-wild shit I've ever heard in my life.
I'm in.
And I'm psyched. It's very Metal Gear Solid in that it's a depiction of like a Western political conflict filtered through a crazy Japanese man
because they have no idea what the fuck's going on. They're just making shit up.
He has to make it exciting, and he also understands none of it whatsoever.
Why are these alliances happening?
It's a great formula. Who was this? Kazuma Kamashi is the author.
The entire time I was thinking Samurai Flamenco. I was thinking I was thinking Sam Flam the entire first 12 episodes because there's like clear dividing lines in Sam Flam. There's like
between arcs, sure.
Yeah, but like those arcs, the shift is huge. I'll explain my thesis later, but I'm
not seeing the connection here. To be honest with you.
Well, it'll make sense. It'll make sense.
I don't know if it will.
It'll make sense.
Those are very different series. Sam Flam was like a parody escapade.
Yes, it was.
This is not that.
I'll explain.
When are you going to explain?
When we get to the point where we finish the first arc.
All right.
the Toma meeting Index
you're
arc.
gonna do it this episode. I thought you were like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it in a year.
Yeah, I'm gonna weave my intertextual like fucking Sam Flam grand mythology into this. No, it's you have to watch out for my video essay on how this is ripping off Sam Flam 5 years before it came out.
Oh yeah, you need a YouTube video.
I need some lo-fi hip hop beats. It's like, okay, I bet you're wondering how
minimalistic graphic
Yeah,
transitions. Yeah. This author also did Heavy Object and Railgun, the good parts, I guess. The manga, probably. And Heavy Object is also exactly like this, and then it's great. The one thing I hope is that when the third season airs, it just doesn't die off, because whenever people are very excited about something that they like getting adapted, sometimes they just forget about it.
Twin Peaks season 3
because it's just kind of by the numbers. But I hope not.
Except Twin Peaks season 3 was bad shit.
I hope it's hype.
It'll probably be hype, or it'll be bad.
Oh, please, man.
Okay, let's go. We gotta actually discuss the show.
Really?
Sorry.
Betting the horse here.
Putting the horse before the wagon.
No, we're betting the farm.
Betting the farm?
Yes, sure.
Buying the farm? Oh, I hope
no,
not.
you don't buy the farm. No,
I don't plan to anytime soon.
Yes, we watched Index. What'd you think?
It's fucking weird. It's a strange show. There's very little. There's a lot of exposition about the world, but there's very little world building, if that makes sense.
So far, yeah.
I feel like I've just been dropped into this ocean, and I don't really see anything around me. Like, I see, like, a couple objects who are, like, characters, and, like, there's a whole lot more going on here that I don't have any frame of reference for at all.
It's an Academy City.
What the fuck does that mean? They keep saying that.
He explains it.
Yeah, but, like...
It's full of schools.
It's full of espers, but
Yeah.
that is only manifested itself in him fighting fucking Misaka and fucking and then there's Index, and Index is like the main character for a bit. Now
Index
she's
isn't
gone,
even an expert.
and now she's gone for she's just not there for like 6 episodes. She's literally in a bath during like the most pivotal moment of this the arc we just finished. So yeah, it's really good, but it's also really stupid. Because the main character's power is anti-cool. His power is that he's...
But that's what makes it so
I know,
cool.
Yes, I know, and that's why it works really well. But like...
He's the toe man.
He's great. Toma's too perfect for this world. But there's also... The main character changes at episode 6 of the show.
Yeah, that's the weirdest...
It's so strange!
That's the weirdest... That's the most fucking wild shit about this show.
He's a different person.
Yeah, like let's establish. Okay, so yeah,
What the fuck, man?
That's probably what stuck with me most about this show after years. Is like at episode 6, they do a really arbitrary and almost totally pointless memory wipe on the main character.
But it works.
That's like that. Like it's just kind of an inconvenience for a while. It doesn't do much.
It just changes personality slightly.
You think
so?
so?
He's a bit more astute after the fact, because his entire life is basically just... So he had a life before he met Index, you know what I mean? Like he was like a fucking bum-ass high school kid who was just a slacker. But he had a good heart. He helped Index out. And then when his memory gets wiped, his entire world becomes this new paradigm of, like, he's met Index, and he's now wrapped up in this, like, global religious conspiracy. And like he becomes better at figuring out what's going on, and like people Style makes note of this when he's talking to him, and he's like, "You're fucking way smarter than you were like a couple days ago."
After getting his brain destroyed, he's way smarter.
Yeah, because he's like more tuned in, because the previous Toma had other things he was worried about, but this current Toma literally his world is only this now, really, and like it's there. The character shift at episode 6 is so... I didn't understand what was happening for a bit, but then he's explaining it, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
What I remember is just like, he's basically the same, except every couple episodes he goes like, by the way, I don't remember what the fuck's going on. But he just kind of does... He keeps the catchphrase. How does he remember that one?
Fukoda.
He keeps Fukoda. And he still worries about... He still got to get to that convenience store to get the cheap eggs or whatever.
Some things are innate, man.
I guess, yes.
A man
it's
understands his
biological.
poor luck, and the man needs his eggs.
Yeah, it's got like it's magic and science, which is also magic in the show. But it gets really realistic at very bizarre, arbitrary moments, like when like everything's magic, and then at one point he realizes like, hey, wait a second, you can't run out of brain space, and then that's just a realism that they just kind of insert into it.
Yeah.
As a plot point.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And they'll call that shit out, like in in the second arc that we watched with this. Or I guess I don't know if it's the second arc, but the cram school arc where there's a cram school cult, which is really great. Style puts it together. He's like, why the fuck do you need to do this crazy elaborate plan when you could make this happen? And like they just kind of basically point out plot holes
every once in a while, but then there's lots of plot holes that they don't point out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's a ride.
It's very it's I remember this show being sort of like likable generic, but it's actually just kind of good. Like it's paced pretty well.
It's stupid when it wants to be, and it's also intelligent when it wants to be, if that makes sense. In that, like, there are high concept things going on, like, just in terms of, like, how the politics and, like, the nature of the world and everything. But then also it's just really, really dumb. And, like, characters will do stupid things, and they'll be really irrational. And it all works for some reason. It's fantastic. It's good television, frankly.
Yep.
It's really, really fucking strange. I can't wait to watch a whole shitload of this and to talk about it. I wonder if we'll see a regression, or like, no, you think it's got it?
I don't know.
But we're only like halfway. This weird, like, fucking speed bump of the mind wipe is so recent in my mind. Like, I wonder if I'll be able to put that in the back of my mind as we go forward. For that'll always be lingering. Like, what did he lose? Like, what is this?
It's weird.
What does it amount to?
Yeah, not much.
Except he's a little bit more astute.
Maybe.
Maybe
his very first line in the show was Fukoda.
Yeah. What misfortune.
When I restarted this, I was worried that I was like, wait, did I forget some kind of Max Payne-esque neo-noir narration from Toma? Because he walks into this restaurant and he goes, I ordered a bitter melon and escargot lasagna from hell. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Are these subs garbage? I mean, yes, they are.
They're horrid.
They're very 2008 subs, baby.
I literally
Thanks, Eclipse.
I literally switched to the dub. I couldn't fucking take
nice.
it because like there was a point where I spent more time trying to figure out what they were saying than actually like watching the show, and I'm like, I can't fucking take this.
There
anymore.
are some lines that are totally
it's gobbledygook, man.
just in conceit in something. Can't
Like,
tell what they're saying.
You can put it together, but it's like a very abstract way of saying what they want to say. It's like this is like overly overwrought at a certain point. The way that it's written,
Yeah, not by native English speakers.
Yeah. It's not common tongue, man. So I do. The dub is imperfect, but it's not obnoxious, and I can understand what the characters are saying. That's the most important thing to me. And I do miss the Fukoda.
Yeah, what is does he say such misfortune?
What wrong luck? No.
He doesn't. Okay.
It's I don't even remember because it doesn't have as much character as Fukuda.
But he says it like 10 times in the first 3 episodes.
I started watching the dub at like episode like 5 or 6 because I switched subs because I downloaded multiple subs and I'm like, well, because I watched the first few episodes, like, these are really like intolerably bad. I want to try another subgroup, and I tried another subgroup, and that was bad too. So I'm like, dub,
Yeah, I think there's only one set of subs for this show. I think if another group is just going to be adopting from the same group,
it's
fucking Eclipse.
Very poor.
It's very bad,
but it's worth sitting through. Obviously,
you can mostly tell what's going on.
I kind of enjoy this as a dub. Because it's got that shonen-ness to it.
It feels like because this is basically the culmination of what we learned in the 2000s in anime.
Yeah.
It feels right to watch it dubbed because it's just something you would watch
On Toonami.
as a kid. Yeah, I mean, yeah, on Toonami, or just like you find it on the internet because it's just like a very popular, very kind of just thing.
Misaka's angst doesn't come across super great in the dub.
I forgot they made she's like a punk at first, like she's supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Railgun, so I just think of her as a dork all the time.
Yeah.
But they make her like intimidating. It's all right. But then by the end of fucking episode 1, he's got her tamed. The fucking toe man has totally got her under his thumb. It's amazing.
He's the man.
Oh, he's so good. He doesn't give a shit about the fucking level 5. Oh, he's the best.
Toma's an amazing underdog, but he's an underdog who has the best power. You know what I mean?
Every light novel has like it's just always, it's like Persona. It's like you're zero, you're special, but like this is actually cool. I don't know why. I can't explain why. Bitchin'. The sound it makes.
Well, it's the fact that it's in his fist, so he can punch people, and then it happens. You know what I mean?
Yes, that also, and it makes the big piercing noise, and oh, it's great. He just fucking punches people.
You gotta love it. You gotta love and the fight scenes in this are excellent. It's because like anytime he's fighting Misaka and the lightning's going everywhere and there's awesome lighting effects happening and it's really intense. But then the battle against are we operating on the assumption at this point that everybody's seen it? Because typically we do really extensive recaps, but in this instance it's so ubiquitous.
Whatever. Who cares? Not important.
You've seen it. You've probably seen it.
Or if you haven't, you can guess what's going on.
Fucking go watch it. But when he's fighting the Cram School, when he teams up with Style, which is lit because I love it when your villain gets a redemption of some kind, and he goes and fights with Style against Cram School. That battle against the Cram School is he like the cult leader? I guess he's the cult leader. And that's a great fight. It's got great rules going on, which is important in a shonen fight, is that you need to have rules for your fight. It can't just be two people with power levels. Like you need to be able to it's like the Naruto formula of like you have to dissect what the opponent's doing and like how are we going to get around their abilities, you know what I mean? And that's good stuff. It's good stuff. Also good body horror in that when Style gets his skin ripped off, which is fucking horrifying. But then that's when you know like, okay, well there's something else going on here because they're not going to rip this guy's skin off on screen if it's for real. Anyways, yeah, Toma. So we haven't actually talked about Index much.
Index, so Misaka starts out cool, and Index starts out a reasonable person.
Yes.
She starts out kind of normal. She's got some quirks. She's hungry. She's magic. She's a nun. Subs say sister, but sister is just Japanese for nun. Come on, guys. What? So, she kind of just becomes annoying little girl around when their plot's kind of done with her. Yeah,
I really like when she channels religion in like very petty ways, right, where she's like, I swear upon the beautiful Lord above that I'm not seeking anything in the house. It's just she's carrying a cat around with her. You know what I mean? Like, just very petty use of her, being a nun is great, and that's entertaining. But ultimately, she doesn't do anything.
She's hungry.
She's hungry. She got a lot of books.
Girl's hungry.
She's got a lot of books in her head. Yeah. And people are like, people really like her, and that's like the thing is that because like the Cram School, the Cram School cult leader he was like one of her handlers basically he was her partner for a year 3 years ago, and then like it drives people to do crazy things like become villains in her life in the case of Style and that other girl. Or like concoct crazy vampire conspiracies to make her live forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's neat, but she's almost a MacGuffin in that because she doesn't do like when is her power amounted to anything except for the time that she was healed by the sensei. So far, nothing. But I guess that she's literally a MacGuffin.
She doesn't. I mean, it's not really a power. It's just she's got a bunch of books.
But it's a MacGuffin.
Yes.
Which is fine, because the rest of it's good. So,
yeah, I don't know. I forget if that comes up anymore.
But again, moments of, like, interesting, interesting writing and like challenging and fascinating ideas of like Mikasa's clones. And like how they're introduced as a character and then like revealed to be thousands and thousands of clones.
Yep.
That's just great. That's just good storytelling. Like that's I'm riveted. You know what I mean? Like I find that super compelling. And like why would the clones speak about themselves in third person? Fucking whatever. Like
I don't know.
I'll accept it. She's weird and that gives you a hint enough that something else is going on. You know what I mean? And that works great.
There's other weird shit in this show. So he's got the lolly teacher, who's a little girl, but she's 30.
Not explained.
Beer
Fuck
and
that.
cigarettes. Well, she's small. That's not explaining. What doesn't get explained is that at one point, the Index is in like recovery mode because she's like a computer for whatever reason. She asks her for the time, and she doesn't have a clock, but she just happens to have a perfect second accurate internal clock.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Weird show.
Like, well, you didn't want to have a clock in the show? Like, why?
Just strange.
Why?
Just strange.
Oh, it's the fucking most bizarre shit.
This doesn't exist in other mediums. This is literally an anime exclusive level of strangeness. Of like just no other medium could handle just
if there was that level of granularity in a Western show, it would just be like the most. It would just be considered like the most over explaining nerd shit.
Yeah.
Just like totally unpalatable nonsense.
That's like a Star Trek episode.
Lore garbage. Yeah.
It's, and it literally can only work in anime. And this is something we discuss. Is like I'm like Index is why you watch anime, and because it tickles something inside of you that you can't explain because it's like a perfect equal parts of stupid and beautiful, and it's. It reminds me of like the anime that I've enjoyed the most of my life. It's not high art, but it's fucking really entertaining television.
JC staff did the whole 2000s of anime. They did this, they did Shauna, they did Familiar of Zero. It's just a bunch of little feisty girls and trance pop. What was going on with the trance pop, by the way?
That's so refreshing because like shows will beat around the bush and do like they won't go full dance music. This is full dance music, baby. We're like when we're in fight sequences, it's just like
that and the opening is they use that lady and her music for like she's done every season of Shauna. She did Index, both seasons of Index, I think.
They know what they like, man.
They just love that lady's trancey aughts vibe.
Yep.
And I hope they keep with it. We're not in that decade anymore. Season 2 is 2010. That's oh no, please. Well, it could be all right. It'll be okay. What else happens? I don't know. There's one episode where Toma runs full sprint across a Japanese apartment room for like 90 seconds.
This show really flies by the way. Like it's zippy. Like you
just keep going.
12 episodes that goes quickly.
It's watchable.
Yeah. And you just immediately click into the next episode in a way that you don't with other things. It's serious candy.
Yeah. The thing people always say about this show though is that when Toma's on screen, you just want that Misaka, and when Misaka's on screen, you just want to see the Toe Man, and that's basically true. They need to just.
There hasn't been a ton of that so far, though.
You need to just be. You just got to put them together, which they do sometimes, but it's not enough.
I need more style.
Yeah.
He's an example of equal parts cool and dumb.
He never takes a drag from that cigarette. It's always there, but I've never seen him actually inhale.
I'm gonna go pee really quick. Meeting my channel, go.
Okay.
I drank a lot. I'm trying to think about other things that happen. Oh, we gotta talk about how there's three scenes in an episode, basically.
Yeah, it's like, it's. I guess most shows. Yeah, it's probably to its. It's probably to its benefit that like, every episode's like 3. Or max like 4 scenes, like probably like 5-6 minute scenes, and sometimes almost nothing happens in an episode, but it still feels like you watched something. He's peeing.
Correct.
He says I'm right.
Well, it's like
You're still off.
It's like there. You'll find yourself in the middle of a scene and be like, how fucking long has the scene been going on for? People will be talking on a bridge, and like they'll be doing exposition about like backstory or like what, like,
and then
concepts.
they'll kind of explain it twice.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There's like some redundancy built in just in case you miss a line. You know, in case you're eating popcorn, drinking something.
Well, there've definitely been times where I'm like, holy shit! Like, so there's so much shit shoved into my brain that I couldn't have possibly picked up on all this, and things will get reinforced later as like, okay, well, they've explained all this and now we're finally experiencing it for real. And then, you know, that's part of the redundancy is like, okay, they explain it twice and then you experience it once. You're like, okay, that concept makes sense, but you fucking really took your time getting there. But, you know, people will be about to fight or like talking after a fight for 6 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And it'll just be cutting to different camera angles, and Toma is trying to redeem them. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's got to tell them exactly what they're doing wrong.
I got notes.
Every time he's about to punch them in the face, he's got to do some. He's got some explaining to do first.
Gotta find my notes.
There's a lady with a sword.
You're living your life wrong.
Yes, you're not living your life correctly. I've been wondering for years. I remembered watching a show where the subtitles used the phrase "pedo body."
Yep. Yeah.
And I couldn't remember. I was like, what fucking show was that? I was just thinking about it like the other day, and I watched this and I'm like, oh yeah, it was this one. It makes sense if you think about it, but it's very counterintuitive.
A lot of this stuff happens in really mundane places. Like when Style and Homegirl are coming to snatch Index at the beginning of the show, they're literally just showing up at Toma's apartment to take her.
That's
like
the teacher's apartment, I think, right?
Or the teacher's apartment, but it's still an apartment.
It's just a little one room. Yeah, there's an entire episode that takes place on his apartment balcony.
You know, like, and it's again, this is part of like Academy City not being explained at all. Is like you'll be in like a bridge.
What's there to explain?
Yeah, but
there's pans of the skyline. You see what's up. There's robots
like a bit
rolling around.
But it's like this isn't a bad thing. It just makes the world seem really small. Like it's just like I still feel like we haven't really touched anything yet, except for the part where the building almost got split in half.
Most of it happens in Academy City. I think there's a little bit of more globetrotting in season 2. But for the most part, season 1, you're just in Academy
We've
City.
been to the hospital like 3 times.
He goes to the hospital a lot.
You know,
you're gonna be in the warehouse. What's a yard with a bunch of shipping containers in it? I don't know what you call that. A shipyard.
Yeah, shipyard. Yeah.
There's the bridge. And there's
Toma's apartment.
You're on a rooftop somewhere. I think at one point they go underground. That might be season 2.
Yeah,
there's
but like
an underground
they're all
mall.
The same places, and they like all these grand conspiracy things that happen are contained in these super mundane places in a way that is pretty funny. Like it just makes it more comical inherently to me.
I feel you. Yeah. Because it spans a lot of subjects, and it's still a very small amount of characters.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and they're all really young, so I never feel like it's like it's the you know the church, it's the Vatican. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm wondering about. Like everyone's like fucking crazy, but fucking World War III arc. Is it just going to be like World War III is going on outside?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing's going on. It's just
Toma remains an everyman in a way. I feel like
can't change him.
He's still broke. Like
always.
He doesn't have change. Like his there's a scene where it literally starts with his dollar bill getting stolen by a vending machine, which is the most everyman thing that can happen to somebody.
That's an iconic scene where Misaka kicks it.
It's excellent.
That's fucking
that's
classic.
That's a banner, baby. Like yeah. I mean, it's a really great scene. It's a good introduction to her powers being used in a petty way and like just over something so simple. It's it's a wholesome show.
It's blasphemous. It's fucking.
They got pedo bodies.
They got pedo bodies. People. These guys. Oh, we haven't even talked about his friend with the abs and the Hawaiian shirt.
Horrible friends.
Oh, but the shirt though, the abs.
I like his friend's sister, who's introduced for one scene that will probably be a player at some point. But she shows up on a big old tall Roomba. And she's great. I don't know what her fucking deal is. But
I don't know if she does anything. I think she just shows up sometimes. That's nice.
That's good.
Yeah,
she's fun, man. His friends are horrible.
Oh, he's got the sunglasses and he's got abs. It's so good. It's great.
This is family entertainment at its finest. You still haven't seen that video yet, but it'll make sense once you do. I'm referencing.
What video are you going to show me?
I'm referencing a video.
Oh, okay.
This is family entertainment. Family entertainment.
That's what every time someone got decapitated in Twilight last night, we would shout TV PG because on MTV apparently they think that's PG when people are just getting their heads ripped
Jersey
off.
Shores. They are Jersey Shore. Their barometer's a bit skewed.
Is Jersey Shore on MTV?
That was an MTV original.
That wasn't VHS.
VH1.
VH1.
No, that was MTV, and that's the MTV. They're also doing Floribama Shore. So.
Of course. Yeah, they copyrighted the word shore, so it's only them from now on.
All right.
It's not
Sure
true.
thing.
I just made that up. Hey. Oh.
Boo.
Oh. Is that all we got to say about Index? The first quarter of Index?
I feel like we've talked about Index, baby.
All right.
It's good. Watch it, please.
I want to be Toma.
I want to be Mikasa.
Wait, ew.
What's her nickname?
Bitty Bitty?
What does that mean? Bitty Bitty?
Sparky. It's onomatopoeia for electrical
Bitty Bitty?
like shocks.
That's good. That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. In English, they call her...
Sparky?
No, they call her...
Sparky Dan the Electric Man?
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Electrical fly swatter girl or something.
Yeah,
or
I remember that. I remember that years ago. People were pissed about that because they made it awful.
Yeah, he calls her that all the time. And like the show's been generally good about or the dub has been generally good about like translating ways and the things that are, because you'll know like when you're watching a dub things that just they couldn't translate well, so they didn't bother. Or like, you know, it'll be a really stretch of a translation. That's the only one that really stuck out to me as kind of poor. Mm-hmm. Or like they can't get a cultural thing across, so they'll change it.
Bug Zapper. He calls her Bug Zapper.
Yeah. But there was a BDBD is way better.
Well, just call. I mean, if you gotta do English, just call her like Sparkly or
Mrs. Zap Girl.
Zappy Zap. Zappy Zap's good.
Zip Zap.
Zip Zap.
Boop Bop. Zippity Bop.
Zips. Turns into Bill Cosby when he sees her.
Oh, she's sleeping now. Bip Bappity Zoop Boop. Ah! I'm going in. Imagine Breaker. Beep Bop. A certain magical Cosby, a certain magical cause, the Cosman. It would work, but anyways,
it writes itself.
There's more to talk about. We got to plunge at least. We're not at an hour yet, and we've set a precedent. Everything needs to be fucking an hour and 45 minutes long.
Oh no!
So
I think it's solid hour is.
We're approaching it, but
okay.
Bitty. So there was a point where I was watching the dub with the subs on just to see like, well, how far off is this? Because I was just interested at that point, and they had referenced Oda Nobunaga, it wasn't actually Oda Nobunaga. It was the other one, the other one, but they changed it to Nelson Mandela in the dub. But then they Schrodinger they use Schrodinger and the dub and the sub. So take of that what you will. Anyways, they adopt a cat, and the Mikasa clone names it dog, which is funny. You're right, Mikasa clone with no sense of humor. That is funny. That's a good character. I can't wait to see more of her. Oh no!
Sorry, I didn't mean to give that one away. Yeah, the show looks better over time because this is a 2008 show. It's not not huge yet.
I can't wait to fucking see Accelerator. Holy fuck, I'm so ready.
Accelerator's fun.
Basically,
Accelerator's very fun.
Every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna be fucking awesome.
He's basically the best.
I'm so fucking ready.
He's all over the place, and it's all good.
He's gonna be so hype. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Pure mayhem.
Oh,
Pure mayhem.
He doesn't. I won't call it an arc, but he goes places, and it's ridiculous.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm fucking in. We got to watch a lot of this. So I mean, I knew it was gonna be okay, but I'm very happy with how much I'm enjoying it. It's good television.
Yep.
And there's a lot more of it to come. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna rewatch Railgun, but if you want to, you've never seen it, you can go right ahead with that. If you got withdrawals,
is it a drastically different show?
It's just not as good because it's like a lot of it's original. Yeah. Although he wrote some of it, so I don't know. What happens in that first show? There's the iDoser stuff, and then that's the only part I remember.
I feel like I'm watching iconic stuff that I've been aware of to some degree for a while. Yeah. It's like when you watch a classic film that you might be it might be exaggerating a bit in the comparison, but it's like when you watch something that is a piece of like the public consciousness, and like you've absorbed a lot of it through osmosis, like Twilight. And
of course,
you're seeing all these things that like are iconic in their own way, and you're like, oh my god, it's that guy. I'm sweet. I've heard great things. You know what I mean? Like when Accelerator comes on, and I get Contact hype because I've heard people talk about how hype he is for so long, and then he's pretty bitching for like the first couple times you see him.
Have they explained his power yet?
He explained it very briefly.
It's he's just God, because they say he can control vectors, and a vector is just anything that's like has a direction, so he can just control everything. It's
sweet.
Like, there's no rules.
I can't wait for Toma to stop that with his right hand. That stops the anti-cool.
He punches him.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm sure that'll be a really good punch. But so we explained earlier, his power is the anti-cool.
And every power is the anti-cool, but this one's actually a cool anti-cool.
Yeah, he
is zero.
He literally stops other people's powers from being cool.
They actually use it in good ways, and it makes a great sound, and it's his hand.
Yeah, he outsmarts Style by pulling a fire alarm, which probably would have gone off already if there was a fire.
That's also a bit of weird logic, which, it should have gone off before, and like, he's like, haha, I knew the ink would wash off this paper. What? What kind of paper are you using?
Well, he's using Japanese rice paper, man. That shit's fucking leaky.
Is that how it works?
That shit's leaky.
He said it was like copy paper.
I don't know.
It was a line.
Maybe your version.
All these characters are just dorks. After the Toe Man tames him, Style starts out very, very scary, and he's a dork.
Yep.
And Sword Lady is pretty docile after hits him in the stomach a few times. Misaka and Index.
Yeah, Index she's a mystical woman.
She gets more hostile, but in a harmless way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't explain my Sam Flam comparison.
Please, that's a great finale. Please enlighten me as to why this is anything like Samurai Flamenco.
Samurai Flamenco will have huge paradigm shifts at certain points in the show between arcs.
Okay.
And the thing that immediately struck me is nonsensical and outlandish in a way that it is in Sam Flam, or the way that those transitions are. Because Sam Flam starts as he's on the streets, he's a street level crime fighter. And then there's a point where somebody gets their fucking body chopped in half by a gorilla guillotine, and then it becomes like a for real Sentai show. And then the transition for me was when Toma he was an everyman in the truest sense, and then he gets his memory wiped, and now he only exists inside this crazy world, which is a paradigm shift to me. Which is something I noticed. I don't know. You said you didn't notice it to the same degree I did, but there was a definite change of character to where the Toma we knew is gone. He is a different person now because he had his entire history wiped. So he literally only knows this new crazy existence. But I might be overthinking it.
That's not even the same. A lot of stories have things where things change.
We'll see. We'll see. I know you've seen all this, but I'm pretty sure that we might end up in space. But
It's
Basically, I'm just gonna every opportunity I have to sneak Sam Flam in, I'm gonna do it because I want people to continue to watch it.
Continue to watch Sam Flam.
Yeah, promoting it till the end of time.
Watch episode 198 of Sam Flam this Wednesday.
Reppin' Sam Flam.
It's not good.
It's one of my favorite shows. It's excellent.
Confounding.
Yes, it is confounding.
No, it's confounding that you like it.
It's how could you not? It has heart. Show's got heart.
It kind of
It's got bromance.
That part's true.
It's got sentais.
That's not. Yeah, that's
it's got
not
fashion.
No,
he's a model.
Yeah, like a little bit.
It's got
look like ass.
A boy he dreams big and achieves it.
The show bankrupted Main Globe.
You know what? If there's something to go out on, I support that being the one to go out on.
I don't know. They didn't go out on it, but it didn't help.
Sacrifice for the Sam Flam.
It was Gangsta that got him.
Ready for Sam Flam season 2? Did Gangsta end up being good? I remember liking the first episode of that.
I haven't finished it yet.
The first episode looked good.
It's probably pretty mediocre.
Okay,
I've only seen 4 episodes.
That's Index.
We talked about Index.
First 12,
baby.
Stay tuned for more hot takes
in a while.
どうしよう高く振りかぶる右腕あなたはレベル0最弱のレベル0もう覚悟して前に突き出された腕はトゲブをする際人間そう殺しする際トマトマ助けて今日も聞こえてくる誠心誠意真心込めて助けに行こう学園都市に治安などはいつもないしほらまた誰かに呼ばれてるよ Hey come on トマトマ助けてトマさあ行こうトマトマご飯は今日も叫んでいるイギリス正教の魔導書のシスター最近までの記憶はもう帰ってこない誰かが来てもダメだやられちゃうよトマトマ助けてトマ